You know what? I think it's fair to ask the question. You know what? I think it's fair to ask the question. I think it's fair to ask the question, should Brock Purdy win MVP? Or at least is he in the MVP discussion? And I know that might seem like a scorching hot take, but if we think about it, his numbers are certainly MVP worthy. While there's no denying the situation helps him, I mean, situation helps a lot of quarterbacks, and they're not putting up these kind of numbers. And also, I think a big factor is with guys like Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen all kind of having down starts to the season. I think he's in the conversation. I really do. And I thought he played maybe his best game of football in this game against the Dallas Cowboys. So let's talk about what he does so well and what the 49ers offense does so well. Let's start off with this play. So it's going to be a man coverage play, but it's a bit of an interesting situation. So Kittle's going to be running a route over the middle. That's the route you see on the screen. That's what Kittle is running. But right when this ball is snapped, the linebacker is going to actually pass off Kittle towards a safety, but the safety doesn't really pick it up that quickly, so you have a little bit of space here for Kittle. However, this is a tough spot for Purdy, right? You look over at him, due to the way that the blocking went, he's now getting himself outside the pocket and had an okay pocket himself. It's not like it was a terrible situation, but has to get outside the pocket now. Play has been going on for a minute. Kittle is open, but it's going to be a relatively difficult throw. However, Brock Purdy is going to make it look easy because that's what Brock Purdy does, is he makes football look easy, able to make that throw on the run, off balance. Kittle is able to get into the, not get into the end zone, was in the end zone, able to make the grab while in the end zone, get a touchdown there. And these are just the kind of things that San Francisco does that can drive you crazy as a defense. They just have so many different weapons you have to account for, and if you want to make it easier on yourself by doing switches and things like that, you have to do it really quickly or it'll cost you. Going over to Kittle's second touchdown of the day, it's going to be a really clever concept. Actually, we saw Detroit do the same thing today, so the concept itself, the main point of it isn't actually, it's still creative, it's still clever, I like it, but it's not something you never see, where what's going to happen is you run the play action, have your receiver who's lined up on that side of the field kind of, move over the middle, that draws the corner in. You then have a tight end kind of start off blocking, the tight end being Kittle in this case, but then he runs out and runs to where the corner was and now no longer is. Sometimes you can get someone wide open. Now, there still is a way to defend this if you're Dallas. Just one of your players covering over the middle stays back with the tight end Kittle and you cover it that way, which is why a play action is usually really important, right? If it's a linebacker over the middle, you get the linebacker out of position, Kittle runs past him, gets wide open for a touchdown potentially. So watch what San Francisco does. They don't run a play action. They give the ball to McCaffrey, who gives the ball to Samuel, who gives the ball back to Brock Purdy. And at this point, everyone was so confused by all those fakes, nobody has picked up Kittle. Maybe no one would have picked him up if you just ran a play action, but hey, why not give yourself a little bit better of a chance? Well, I guess there is one reason why you wouldn't, right? There is a defensive player for Dallas who can now go over and try to, deliver a hit on Purdy. But as you see, Purdy is going to make this throw. Kittle is able to get into the end zone and get a touchdown on this play, his second of the day. Really good stuff. So, that kind of just goes to show, those two plays are the 49ers offense in a nutshell, right? They can win if you just have them go straight up, hey, win one-on-one, well, then teams try to get help and they still can't figure it out. Or you can scheme stuff up and you can make those easy plays. They don't need the easy plays, but might as well take them, and they can scheme those up with the best of them. Obviously, Shanahan, pretty good at scheming stuff up. Again, something like this for the 49ers is a pretty interesting thing, something that I think this is kind of really what Purdy has become known for. It's just being able to hit the layups, right? Make the simple stuff. This play, it's zone coverage that the Cowboys are in. You have two receivers running kind of deeper routes, hopefully pushing those players further deep, and then a player who's lined up in the backfield runs underneath. That's who Purdy is going to throw to. Watch as when Purdy takes the snap, you see right here, again, okay, this is the way this play concept is designed to work, but I love how Purdy makes this throw. Watch it right on the money to allow his receiver, Deebo Samuel, to make the catch, get as many yards as possible, nearly got a touchdown on that play. They would eventually get a touchdown on this drive set up due to that good play. And again, it's simple, it's easy, it's not a highlight reel level play, but that's what Purdy does, is he makes the simple stuff every single time, basically. And there's so much value in that because, again, Sure, Shanahan can scheme up high percentage plays. He can. But high percentage usually isn't 100%, right? And the fact that Purdy, I don't know, his percentage is like a 90, 95%, that's really what makes these things easier for the 49ers. Now going over here, Dallas was obviously able to get some stops. Let's talk about some of the ways they were able to do it. Although I'm actually going to start this off by giving credit to San Francisco. Just again, a smart thing that they do where the player I've circled on this play, that is actually Christian McCaffrey, the running back, and watch what he's going to do. As you see, watch him go out in motion, which, okay, that's not anything that crazy, right? People use motion all the time. But given the concept, the fact that Dallas is going to be in man coverage, and because you're doing this right before this play starts, Dallas is then going to, okay, let's just switch so we don't have to get way out of position. But what this has done is now Stephon Gilmore is covering Christian McCaffrey, which, like, okay, listen, McCaffrey's a good receiving halfback. You don't want your number one corner having to cover him, especially when you have, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle to worry about. Now Brandon Ayuk gets an easier matchup. However, when Purdy takes the snap, the easier matchup still isn't a guaranteed win, and Dallas, good coverage here, I would say. Purdy puts this ball in a catchable spot, wasn't quite able to be complete. To me, that's just good defense. I don't really look at that as like a bad play or anything by the 49ers. More so just like, okay, you did everything right. You got yourself a better matchup. Sometimes the better matchup still isn't going to win, and that's what happened there. Got to give credit to Jordan Lewis. He was the corner who's only has 94 snaps on the season coming into this game, but good play there, able to do a good job. But again, that's football. You're not going to win 100% of snaps. You just try to make sure you can win as high percentage of the snaps as possible. Also, this one, just the classic example of they got a big play taken back due to a holding penalty. So it's like, all right, 3rd and 14. This is going to be a tough situation. Well, then it's zone coverage. You have two receivers running deeper routes. And it's going to actually be the one that eventually Purdy is going to look towards is Samuel's route. Again, it's the kind of concept you see all the time. It's just further down the field since this zone coverage is going to be further down the field due to the 3rd and 14 scenario of a receiver runs deep, tries to push the corner and safety further deep, and then you have Samuel kind of run underneath that. Watch as Purdy's going to take the snap. He is going to look in that direction. He fires in that direction, and I mean, is that open or is that open? That is wide open. Doesn't get much more open than this. I don't know how you let this happen if you're the Dallas Cowboys. So while there was some good defense, I mean, listen, I get it. It's a good concept. Ran really well by San Francisco. But for Dallas, you can't let this happen. However, as you see, able to hit Deebo Samuel, they're able to pick up a big gain there. Just really good stuff from Brock Purdy, and he's able to, make that happen. So as a whole, I mean, again, I'm bringing up the MVP discussion. I do think that there's a real chance he wins it. I really do. I don't think that's a crazy take because I do think that this could continue. Like, I'm betting on this working. Is he a bit of a system quarterback at this point in his career? No, he's much more than just a bit of a system quarterback. He's a complete system quarterback at this point in his career. But he's also played like 10 games and he's playing at this level. Like, he's going to get better. And that's the scary thing if you're someone who does not like the 49ers. At least that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.